Hello. Good evening, everybody in Europe tonight. Oh my God, this is the first time I've ever done a live broadcast. 6 p.m. Saturday night it is here for me in Brisbane, Australia. And thank you all to European countries who want to come in tonight and be a part of my magic that I wish to shed onto everybody. How's that for to get us started? Okay, so the first thing tonight, before people come in, I like keeping things going, so I'm adding a couple of links for us, guys. The first one is my new book, which is called Psychics Explained, is now out. Woohoo! Okay, so I've just added that link if you wish to go over and buy any of my 3 books that I now have. Now, I have also got news because my next book is also getting ready. Okay, so I'm just adding another one here. I'm putting in my PayPal link because, hello, if you do get a psychic reading tonight and I do say something that you think, well, yes, I'll give her a couple of dollars for a coffee or to update her phone or whatever, here's my PayPal link also. So I've also got on there my links to my books and also my PayPal link. So tonight, what we're doing, live psychic readings. Okay, if you do want a psychic reading, you've got to be here when I'm live. Okay, I'm here tonight, 6 p.m. Saturday night. First time ever. I'm just testing the waters to see how that one goes. But I'm also going to be here tomorrow morning, which is Sunday, 9 a.m. Brisbane time. So if you can't make this live tonight, be aware that every Sunday now, 9 a.m. Brisbane time, I'm going to do my live psychic readings and tarot. So if you do want live questions asked, all you got to do is comment them. But don't do it after the live finishes, guys. You've got to comment your answers or your questions while I'm live, like right now, so then I can give you instant answers from her. Who is she? I've explained her before in my book. This is one of my books, guys. I've already added the link up there. Look how thick this book is. The lady who I talk with, she has no name. I don't know if she's a spirit guide, guardian angel, or whatever you want to call her, but she has appeared to me a few times in my life. And here she is the day that she appeared at the pool. So she is a celestial being, and she is like my second sight. Well, she is my psychic. Okay, Renee Barr is on. Thank you so much for being here, Renee. Okay, so if you do have questions that you want me to answer, all you got to do is comment below. Okay, easy. Okay. So the first thing I want to do tonight, before we get some questions going, I want to talk to something about that's in my book, 5 Years in Heaven. This is my near-death experience book when I went to heaven for 5 years. Okay, in the second half, the teaching of heaven, this is all the life lessons that we can learn so we don't get really bad experiences when we do our life review when we pass over. Okay, so in chapter 6, which is the second half of the book, which is page 255 down here, changing negative behaviors into positive. How do we go about doing that? First thing, there's 3 parts. So if you want to write this down as development, please go and grab a pen and paper, okay? Or just remember them. So the first one is we have to identify the behavior that we don't want anymore, okay? So what we do there is just say you've realized that you're a gossiper. You don't want to gossip anymore about people, okay? So what you do is you say, okay, I acknowledge that I gossip about people. It could be things like, geez, I realize that I'm always derogatory to people. I always put them down. Or, geez, I didn't realize I was so sarcastic all the time whenever I talk to somebody. I want to be more encouraging. I want to be more supportive. I want to be more positive and uplifting, supportive to people, okay? So identify the behavior that you no longer want. So in this one, I'm going to say being a gossiper, okay? All right? Then we accept that. Now, how do we accept that we have that behavior? we acknowledge it and we call it out and say, you know what, I've got this behavior and I have used it in my past, so I accept that I've had it in the past. But then we create, so that's the number 3. So we identify, accept, and create. We create the changes that we want. So if you don't want to be a gossiper anymore, you create new ways to talk to people, or where you don't use that behavior anymore, okay? So Renee has put out a question for me. I have a question, please. Will my business pick up with my services I offer? Now, Renee, I'm going to be honest with you, darling. You've got to think of what people actually want to be relevant to their needs, okay? So please consider, we've got right now, people are struggling to pay their rent. They're struggling to pay their mortgages all around the world. Hardly anyone is in a financial situation, okay? That's one reason why I like doing a lot of psychic readings and stuff for free. It gets our word out there. So I can see that your readings with Renee, so you obviously do readings, okay? So will your business pick up with my services? I would suggest that you do free readings for your friends and families, because then they will promote you and say, wow, you just did a really good thing. I don't know if you've watched my videos, but last week I actually had a table tipping service with Mike Cavalli, who lives in Austria over in Europe. So he is a psychic. He uses a table like a pendulum where it says yes or no answers. But look at me. I do psychic readings, but I did a video of referring him to other people if people wanted to go to him. So the first thing, Renee, is we've got to be humbled, take our ego out of the equation, and allow the energies to align. Okay, so that's your message there, Renee. Kristen T, thank you so much for being here. How much do you think astrology has to do with influencing us? By the way, you look pretty. Oh, Kristen, thank you so much, darling cake. It is really hot here in Brisbane again. This is the first that we're going into it. We're just coming into summer, so it is going to be an awful bloody year for us. We have this now until probably next March or April. So, yeah, I'm nearly out of my long sleeve shirts for the year. I need more T-shirts, really bad. So thank you so much for giving me a compliment. It is good to be able to accept compliments, correct? So let's go there. How much do you think astrology has to do with influencing us? Well, you've got to remember that our bodies are mostly water, and the waters around the earth are tidal. So by the moon, which is a celestial being, right? Or object, whatever you want to call it, the moon, okay? Celestial object. So, physical object. So, when the stars align and the planets align, etc., of course, they are going to affect us energetically. Now, energy, I've long said this, Kristen, energy is our emotions. Think about it when you get pent up with anger. You're building that anger. So what we're doing is building and building that energy of that emotion, okay? How many times do we hear people saying, I have this weight on my shoulder? Because that is a physical representation of all that energy from an emotion that's an attachment to whatever it is that we've got that weight on our shoulders from. So, yes, planetary alignment, even constellations coming into our quadrants of our astrology, etc., it all has things to do with our being at this point, okay? I am one. I'll be honest, I read my astrology every single day. I love reading my horoscope, okay, and seeing if they have it accurate, and a lot of times they actually do get it accurate, okay? So, Renee says, yep, thank you. I'm trying. Thank you very much. Okay. So, guys, I am doing free readings tonight. So if you do want me to answer something for you, please comment it so I can answer it live. Okay. I'm going to be here for about the next 50 odd minutes. So it's about an hour. And if you miss me tonight, please know I'm going to be back here at 9 a.m. Brisbane time, Sunday. So you go into Siri and you say, what time is it right now in Brisbane, Australia? And it will come up with the time so that you can say, right, they're 4 hours ahead of us. So if it's 6 o'clock at night, that means it's 10 o'clock at night for Linda right now in Brisbane. So you can work out when I'm going to be here, okay? So if you do have, Kristen just said thank you. Oh, okay, thank you. So here we go. If you do have a question, guys, I've just seen a couple more coming in. If you do have a question for me to answer tonight, please comment your questions and I will give free psychic readings tonight. Okay, so I'm going to ask her. Oh, she wants me to do my little lovey-dovey card. Okay, let's see. Okay, I love my little lovey-dovey cards. These are my little lovey, they've got little love doves on them. So these little cards, they all start with the word love. And obviously, there's a lot of them. So I'm going to just have a little shuffle while people think about questions to ask me. Okay? So if you do want to ask a question, please comment it and I will answer it live. Okay? So I'm going to ask the universe and my lady, thank you so much for being here. Please give me one card that I need for the people watching this so then they get a message from it tonight. Okay, that's how we just easily ask it. One of these days I'm going to get around to doing a video showing us how to buy, how to cleanse, and how to use tarot cards. Okay? Well, these are sort of like tarot cards. All right? So, one card, please. It represents something, a message for somebody who's watching me tonight. So I just shuffle now until one pops out. So it's not me deciding when that's going to pop out. Oh, that nearly was one. There it. Oh, did you see that? I got my card. Okay, so the card tonight says, love would plant a garden of flowers. Now, when we look at gardens, how long do we have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait for those flowers to grow to the point where they have fruit or other flowers on them that we can enjoy? So this is a patience game, guys, and that's what I've been getting told a lot this week. We're all now waiting for things. Have you noticed that? I know I am. I'm always waiting. So I'm pretty sure that one of my life lessons that I've got to learn in this incantation is actually patience, okay? So love would plant a garden of flowers. Now, we've got to remember here, guys, sometimes those flowers, when you buy a pot of flowers from your gardening shop, the flowers are already on the plant. So sometimes those benefits are instantaneous. But sometimes we have to show that patience. We have to nurture, water, sustain, and keep those flowers growing to the point when they actually get bulbs and then produce flowers on them. Okay? So whoever that message is for tonight, I don't know because I just asked a simple question. Please give me a question that we all need for tonight, right? So love would plant a garden of flowers. So let's just think about situations in our own lives where it's like starting a new course. You want a new qualification. So it's a 2-year course. But at the end of that growth, like a plant, then we get that fruition, like the flowers, where we've then got that qualification that we can use. So these flowers may be just a metaphor that we need to incorporate into our own lives of something else that we're doing. It may be saving for a deposit on a house. Now, I don't know where you live around the world, but house prices now are coming way down. Don't buy a house now if you can try and avoid it. Okay? Beauty stems from loving energy. Of course, Kristen. And I love how you worded that. Thank you so much for saying it like that. Because what happens is when we put our energy into anything, I actually love the works of Emoto Masuru. He is a Chinese man who did all those water experimentations. So he would just get a petri dish and put a couple of drops of water on it, and then he would just talk love into that water for a day, and then he'd freeze it in his freezer. So then he would look at the frozen droplets of water under a magnifying glass. The results are outstanding because sometimes he would put things like hate. Sometimes he would put words like jealousy into the water. So then he'd freeze those, and the absolute disgusting black water that represents our negative energies. It is true. So Emoto Masuru was his name. He is an amazing person, okay? So thank you, Kristen, for saying that one. Okay. Love would plant a garden of flowers. Think about things in your own life this week where you've got to have that patience, that consideration, and most of all, that dedication of love to make things happen in our favor. Okay? So I'm just going to put that little card back down. Now, let's go and do a ruin stone. Okay, guys, well, I've got a few here. So if you do want me to answer something for you, and also during tonight's show, I'm going to be giving away PDFs of my new book, which is called Psychics Explained. It's over 120 pages. Not only does it show the science of how we become a psychic, it's got a lot of development in there, and it's also got every known psychic ability that we can possibly get. So then we might say, oh, I didn't know that one was out there. That's what I do. So now I've got that name to put to it. Okay? All right, so I'm going to be asking some people soon to see if they want a free copy, okay? So here's my ruins. Okay, so I want a ruin stone tonight that benefits those watching my show. Let me have a ruin, please, on your behalf that is a benefit to somebody in watching my videos tonight. So I'm just going to go down. All right, so it's over here. There's a little hot one. No, it's not you. It's the one under it. There it is. It's this one. He's a little hot one. He is a little hot one. Oh, okay. So it's just a little eye. So let's go and have a look at him in my book. The little eye. Let's go find this guy in my little book, and I'll keep an eye on my comments because I'd like you to ask me questions. You know, anything you want to know about being a psychic, ghost things. I've got an update on Roy's house. So let me do this ruin stone first. Okay, so here he is. It's this one here. So let me just show you again because I like doing that. So you see it's definitely that guy. Okay, it's this guy here. Now, this is the ice. All right, I've got the ice ruin. Okay, let me just read this firstly. Okay, so this is the Isa, the ruin of coldness or a freezing stoppage of some activity. Now, haven't I been talking about patience? Funny how they're all connected. Often associated with delays. Oh my God, patience. Okay, both temporary and longer term, or a cooling in a relationship. It may indicate a freeze or delay of some kind or impending cooling in a relationship. Now, if you're living in America or even in Europe, how cold is it getting for you guys? I know it's getting cold for you because it's getting extremely hot here in Australia. You guys are always the opposite of what weather we have. The freeze may be self-imposed or a creation of circumstances from others. So here we go. Do you want to be dragged into other people's business dramas? Energy. Do you really need that within yourself? And the last one says, if part of a negative cast, oh, well, we've got no negative cast tonight because I don't like talking negatively, full stop. So that was the ice ruin. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, let me have a look. TTQT Pie, should I focus on finishing my book or family history project first? Oh, I'm going with both. Now, obviously, straight away, look at the excitement I'm getting. Oh. Should I focus on finishing my book? Yes. I don't know if you've got a little voice recorder. TTQT Pie? Cutie Pie? Is it Cutie Pie? Is that how you've written it? Because it sounds like Cutie Pie. I love it if you haven't done that deliberately. Okay. Should I focus on finishing my book? Yes. She's telling me yes. She's actually pushing me. Get it done. Okay. Oh, thank you for that much energy. Okay. So we get that book done. Okay. I would be trying to get it out before Christmas, if that makes sense for you, if that's a possible, plausible action for you to undertake, or family history project. Now, what I'm hearing here is the History Family Project is only going to be beneficial for about 2 or 3 people. Yeah, there's no hurry, is there? Yeah, I know. Okay, so there's no hurry in getting that one done. Okay, if that makes sense for you? Okay, so I would do the book first and then concentrate on the family history. Try and do both at the same time if you can. Okay, all right. Now, Renee has come back on. I'm still here. Would love to know on Roy's house. Oh, let's go there. Now, for those who don't know about Roy, I moved into my house about 9 years ago. And when I go out, my house is like this, right? Actually, I should just draw it on a little diagram. Gosh. Okay, let's just get some paper here so I can draw a little diagram so you'll understand what I'm talking about. So Roy lived next door to me, and he was in his 80s when I moved in, and he's a lovely, lovely, lovely old man. My house is basically there. All right, so my house is here. Okay, so my front door is about there. Okay, and there's my driveway out to the street. So the street goes around past Roy's house. So Roy's front door was over here. Okay, does that make sense? It's a corner. Okay, so he owned, I should do this in a different pen, but his property line, I'll just do it like this. So he owned all this block, okay? And my house goes to about there, okay? So that's the boundaries, okay? So Roy owns all this land over to the corner, right? They've actually just put a new house here on the corner, all right? Okay, too close. But anyway, so Roy lives here and I live here. And when I come out my back door here, he used to come out his back door here and we'd sit at the fence and have a coffee when I moved in, right? So he was a lovely old man. I used to drive him to the hospital, take him shopping, used to have a little chat with him. I went into his house a few times. He was lovely, okay? Beautiful guy. So then one night he died. 3 nights later, I woke up in the middle of the night and there's Roy standing at the end of my bed. He said to me, no, I said, oh, Roy, because I recognized him because I knew him. I saw him every day. And I said, oh, Roy, I said, are you okay? And he looked at me and he said, I was actually making sure that you're okay. What a nice man. This is how considerate he was. So I said, darling, I'm fine. Are you okay? And he said, oh, yes, I've got to go now. Bye. And then he just disappeared. So about 2 years later, the lady across the road from me, so if you, where did I just put that? Oh, I just dropped the piece of paper. Don't worry about it. But she's over across the other side of the road. She used to know him as well. So she was over here having a coffee with me one day. And we noticed that his back door was open because it was hard to lock. So the wind would just blow it open. So we went around and secured the house and we walked home. And she said, I'm going to go home now and make another coffee. And I said, yeah, I'm going to go home and make a coffee too. So just as I walked back out my back door, my phone rang. And on the phone, it said no caller ID. So I answered it and I said, hello, Lynda speaking. And I heard, hello, Lynda. Instantly, I recognized the voice, Roy. It was Roy, 2 years after he died. So I said, are you okay? And he said, are you still here? Remember, I was just at his house. So he said, are you still here? And I said, oh, no, sorry, darling, I've come home. Ali's gone home, the lady across the road. I've come home, I'm going to make another coffee. And he said, oh, okay, then bye. And he hung up the phone. 3,000 million questions are going through my head. Where are you? Who are you with? What are you seeing? Where do you go? Where, how, who, what, where? All these millions of questions that I could have asked him. Anyway, so it was only about 2 years ago that the house got sold and they finally took all this furniture out of it It was empty for 5 years. No one lived in there, but all this furniture was still in there. I used to have parties here, and we'd see the TV turning on. We'd hear saucepans and other things moving around in the house. There was no one there. We actually used to go over there with torches and look through the window. There was nobody in there. All the doors and windows were secure. So really weird activity. So let's just go to what happened. They renovated it. 3 carpenter, a painter, and somebody else all said they're never going back inside that house. The carpenter said, because I spoke to him one day and I said, hey, have you heard anything weird in there? He said, I'm never coming back. I've actually put in my notice. I'm not coming back after next week. I said, what's going on? He said, I took out all the cabinets in the bedroom cupboards, came back in the next day to put all the new stuff in, and all the old cupboards have been put back in there, nailed into the walls. Who would do that? Paints were taken in by the painter and words were written on the walls from the paint. But there's nobody in there. It's about a 15-minute walk and I could be inside his house. So there was no one in there at all. So who was doing all this? So we got in some nasties, and I'll be honest, they were nasty people. Yeah, they got used to get raided, they got evicted. They were nasty. So they've moved out, but now I've got new neighbours. They only moved in about 4 weeks ago. So the other day I was in my backyard and they were in their backyard. So I just stuck my head over the little fence because it's about this high. And I said, oh, g'day, how are you? I'm Linda, I lived here, blah, 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 blah. And I just happened to say to them, has anything weird happened inside your house? So this was only last week that I saw the neighbour. Then her husband comes out and he says, what's the story with this house? And I said, look, man used to live here, blah, blah, blah. He died 7 years ago. He died now. The man said, we go to bed at night and a black shadow comes down the hallway and comes into the bedroom. And I asked him, which bedroom do you live in? They sleep in the room where he died. Oh, yeah. So great. He said things go missing in the house. 3 days later, they just miraculously turn up on the kitchen bench, that sort of stuff. He says, I don't know who's in the house, but I don't like it. And I said, well, don't worry, because it's okay. He's lovely. He's an old man. Treat him nice, and he will treat you nice as well. So Roy is still in the building. How gorgeous is that? Oh, but, if you do want a copy of my book, Ghosts Explained, now it is on Lulu now, okay? So I'm just going to put it in again for anybody who missed the above one. Here is the link I've just commented. That takes you over to Lulu where all my books are. 5 Years in Heaven When I Died, that's on there. Ghosts Explained is on there, which has got all the ghost stories. Photos, real ghost photos are in there. And all the Q&As, frequently asked questions, things that ghosts can do, things that ghosts can't do. Okay, it's all in there explaining ghosts. The book that I've just got out now, which is Psychics Explained, 120-something pages, that is also on Lulu. But I'm going to say it right now. If you want a copy, now this is only during my live. So if you do want a copy of my book, here's my email. Linda@LindaRay. Oh, gosh, I spelt it wrong. Look, I've got to do it again. Linda@LindaRay. Sorry, because I'm typing and talking at the same time. There you go. Linda@LindaRay.info. Okay, don't use the top one, use that bottom one. Okay, or comment your email here and I will send it to you. Okay, because I'm giving away free copies. They're in PDF form, so they're about $25 value. So if you do want a copy of Psychics Explained, please email me in the next half hour and I'll send you over a copy. But it must be during my live, okay? So if you're watching this later than me doing a live, please be aware I'm going to be back here at 9 a.m. Sunday time, 9 o'clock. So it's 2.5, so it's 14.5 hours from now. I'll be here again. Okay? So I'm going to be answering all your psychic questions. If you've got any development that you want me to help you with, because my name is Dr. Lynda Cramer. I am a parapsychologist. I am a near-death experiencer, and I've got over 50 years. I know I only look 23, but I've got over 50 years experience dealing with ghosts and paranormal events. So please utilize my experience, training, and skills, okay? So if you do want any questions answered, you can do it now live or email me, and I can certainly email you in private where we can have a private chat, okay? So, okay, let's now go over. We've done the little lovey-dovey card. We've done our ruin stone. Let's go and get a tarot card. And as I said earlier, guys, I'm going to do a video on my channel. So you've got my channel now. So if you go over to my channel, I've got over 200 videos there now. Woohoo! So a lot of them are development. They're all free, by the way. So you can go and watch all of those, and they're all free. There's all different ways in there of becoming a better, loving person. Okay? There's ones in there like how to use pendulums. There's ones in there like how to do your own aura cleanse. Okay? Thank you so much, Renee. I just saw that. I will get it to you later, darling. Okay? Because I know that you want a copy. So I'm going to do a video in the next few days how to buy, how to cleanse, how to connect, and how to use tarot cards. Okay? So this is my tarot deck. So I'm just going to connect with them now. Thank you, darling girl that's with me all the time. So let's just go there. I'm going to ask her to give me one card that all of us watching tonight need to hear. One card for someone specifically tonight. Okay? So then I just shuffle. And like before, when I was doing those little lovey-dovey little blue and white cards, she'll throw a card out when it's right, okay? Because then it's not my ego. It's not me just saying, oh, it's this one on the top now, okay? So I let her decide when she wants the card, okay? So all I do is just keep, oh, that's a few. So I don't take a few. I put them back in. So I just keep shuffling. Sometimes, these are a little bit big, these cards. One thing I will tell you about tarot cards, never buy your own cards. Somebody else should always buy them for you, okay? The way I got these, oh, now did you see that? That just went down onto the floor, so I'll keep these up. So where did it go? There it is. Okay, I've got my card. Okay. One of my lovely friend Kim, she actually said, Linda, what are you doing today? We've got to go up to Grand Plaza. I said, okay. And she said, I want to buy you a pack of tarot cards. So we went into a bookstore that sells them, and she says, do you like this pack? Because they're the ones I want to buy for you. And I actually like them because a lot of the cards have got red on them. Even though it's a blue pack, a lot of the cards have got red. See how they've all got reds and blues in them? No? There's more red. So it's all reds and blues, which is beautiful. Okay, so I've got the card. Oh, my God, this one, you're not going to believe the card I've got. Now, if you are into tarot, this is the 15th card in the Major Arcana. Does anybody know what that card is? Let's see how good you are. Just think it in your head. Who do you think I got? The 15th card in the Major Arcana is the Devil. So I've just looked him up in the book because I like reading him. There he is there, guys. Okay, let's have a look at what the interpretation of this card is. The devil's presence quite often appears when a situation is dragging you down and you feel helpless to change it. Now, haven't I been telling tonight that we've all got to be patient? Okay? So I love it when the cards all connect with each other. Okay? It can show a form of enslavement. I just heard today that New York City is back in isolation laws again. I hope that's not true. Whether to an ideal or an addiction or even a manipulative or controlling relationship. Now, how many times have I said it over the years? Relationships are not just with us and our partner. We have a relationship with our co-workers. We have a relationship with our friends, our neighbors, our family. I even have a relationship with this pen because we work together. It is a he energy, this one. Is a masculine energy, this pen. But I love the relationship I have with this pen because I use it to write all the time, okay? I have a relationship with my mouse. I have a relationship with my tarot deck. I have a relationship with my vehicle. So it's not just about a person, okay? So overindulgence tends to result in upset, greed, or lust that can become self-destructive. Overspending is a typical example. So watch your spending, guys. If you're going to go out and buy a new dress, set that limit of a budget before you go and buy that dress. Or should I say a pair of shoes or a new hat or even a loaf of bread. Even here where I live, we have loaves of bread that goes from like $1.50 right through to the $10 loaf of bread, which is a really cool one with all nuts and fruit through it. Okay? So set your budget before you even leave your house so then you don't overspend, okay? Because that's what the devil card represents, that overindulgence, okay? However, the important message is that it is self-enslavement. We create these issues. We create these events. We create the emotion, and therefore we create that energy ultimately always within ourselves. Wow. Okay. By taking control of this behavior, we are released from it and are free to walk away. Now, I have a certain person in my life who really irks me. Every time I talk to this person, I get physically upset because they cannot see the negativity that spews from their mouth every time they open it. And I'm honest here. I'm honest because I don't color code things. So I've told this person repeatedly, are you aware that when you talk like that, it makes other people feel like this? When you gossip about people, you're actually creating an energy field of negativity. Are you aware that you should be like this? Okay. So this person just spews forth all their negativity. They then go and tell people about me because they gossip about me all the time, right? So what this card is saying, when we stop giving it that control, we are free to walk away. So what this means is when somebody irks us, when things don't go our way, release it. So let's do a little bit of development right now because no one's asking me any questions. All right. If you do have a question, guys, please comment. That's what tonight's for, okay? So let's go there with some development, okay? How do we release things? Now, well, I actually said it right at the beginning of the show. Oh, my goodness. Where is it? Oh, my goodness. Let me just find it in my book. Changing negativity into positive, 255. Okay, I was here just right at the beginning of the show today. Changing negativity into positivity. Okay, how do we stop negative behaviors? There's 3 points, so please write these down, guys. First one is we've got to acknowledge or identify the behavior that we're doing that we don't want to do anymore. Okay, so at the beginning of the show, I was talking about if we're gossiping about somebody and we don't want to gossip anymore. So let's do it with sarcasm, okay? Sarcasm. Are you aware how negative sarcasm is? Because what we're doing is actually putting down the other person and making them feel less worthy, less valuable than what they actually are. So we identify it and we say, I recognize that I am a sarcastic person. Other people have told me I'm sarcastic. So now I'm taking it on board and I identify it. The second one is that we accept it. So what we say here is, I fully acknowledge that I have been a sarcastic person in the past and I don't want to be that person anymore. So from now on, I'm not going to be sarcastic and I'm going to try really hard because, Helen, everyone's got faults. Everyone's not perfect. We all fall back into our old behaviours, yes. But as soon as I recognise I don't want to be that person anymore who gossips or be sarcastic, then I'm going to make concerted efforts from now on to change my behavior. Now, this is actually neuroscience through the neuroplasticity of our brains, because in our transmitters, we have what are called synapses, and these are our memories based on our habits and routines. So the more we do something, like if you're a baker and you bake cakes every day, that memory of making cakes is so big that you can actually make cakes with your eyes closed. You know exactly where to go and get how much milk. You know exactly the amount of flour to pour in. You know exactly how much salt, food flavorings and other things to put into that cake. You know instantly how to set the oven to the right temperature and how long to cook that cake for, right? Because our synaptic network has built and built and built this huge memory based on repeatedly doing it. And it's the same with our attributes and characteristics. So the more we're sarcastic or gossiping or we attack or scream at people or we're always putting people down, then the more our synapses within our neuroplasticity of our brain, it creates those habits where we do it again in our future. So that's science, okay? Then we look at psychically, spiritually, or however you want to say it. But the more we say, you know what, I've got this behavior, I don't want to do that anymore. I give it no consent. I give it no permission. I don't want this in me anymore, so nick off. So the more we say that to ourselves, the more less chance we have of ever doing it again. So you identify it. You say, I'm this person. I don't want to be that person anymore. Then you accept it. You say, look, that's who I was in the past. I appreciate and I'm thankful that I had it in the past because now I'm learning a valuable life lesson from this experience. And then last one is to create the new behavior, the new personality trait or characteristics that we want to take into our future. Okay, I don't want to be sarcastic anymore. So instead of being sarcastic, I want to now start complimenting people. So tomorrow when I go to the shop, I'm going to make it a habit, because that's formed over time, right? I want to make a habit where I compliment 5 people tomorrow when I go out. And it could be as simple as walking past somebody and saying, well, I like your handbag. It could be as nice as walking past someone and say, oh, wow, I like your shoes. Where did you buy those from? Because then they walk away and they feel good about themselves. You weren't being sarcastic. You weren't putting them down. You were giving them self-value. You were building their self-worth. And ultimately, you are creating them within them that feeling and emotion, which is energy of love. Oh, wow. Hope you like that one. Okay. So this is why I went to heaven and they taught me this stuff. So it's in my book, Teachings of Heaven. That's the second half of my book, right? So the first part is me going to heaven when I died. Okay. So the guys on the front, they're the big 3 when I did my life review. That's where I was processing and healing all my memories. Okay. My life review. Okay. TT Cutie Pie. I'm just going to call you Cutie Pie if you don't mind that. Thank you so much. How can I more easily connect with and receive direction from my 3 spirit guides? Stay tuned. My book, Spirit Guides and Life Paths Explained, is nearly finished. I'm hoping to get it out in the next week or 2. Oh, It's a doozy, because not only does it say what can be spirit guides, how do they work it? How do they create those synchronicities to put us into those perfect times at the perfect place? How do they give us our life lessons and our life path? How do we connect with them? Things that they can do for us, things that they can't do for us. So it's like a little mini encyclopedia of spirit guides and life paths explained. So TTQT Pie, a cutie pie, I'm just going to call you cutie pie. Please be patient, because I will be giving away free copies when that one's finished. Okay. On my YouTube channel, if you scroll down through the video list, there is actually a video there, and it's called How the Heck Do I See Spirit Guides? Now, I did that video probably 8 months ago. So you've got to scroll down, because I've got over 200 videos there now. So scroll down about 100 videos and you'll find it. How the heck do I see spirit guides? It's free to watch, okay? So I'm just going to repeat it again, guys. If you do like what I say, if I'm teaching you anything, if you like what I do and you wish to support my work in any way, please make a donation to my PayPal. And here's the link, okay? I've just added my PayPal link as well, okay? If you do want to go over and buy any of my books, I've got 3 on Lulu now. So if you do want to go over and buy any of my books on Lulu, this is the first one I did, my near-death experience. 5 years I was in heaven. Then I've got the Ghosts Explained, and now I've also got Psychics Explained. The next one that's coming out in hopefully a week or 2 will be called Spirit Guides and Life Paths Explained. Then I'm working on Angels Explained. Then I've also got Auras Explained, Crystals Explained. I've got heaps of them, okay? There's about 8 that I want to do, okay? Let me just go. Love Explained, Sabotages Explained. So they're all going to be on Lulu at that link, okay? All right, so has anybody else... Oh, hang on. Okay, so Cutie Pie, I'm just going to call you Cutie Pie because I love it. I love it. I love it. TTQT Pie. How can I more easily connect with and receive direction from my 3 spirit guides? First of all, I want to say, how amazing is it that you've got 3? I'd like to know how you received that you got the message that you've got 3, okay? Because most people only have 1, but in my book I do explain we can have hundreds. We can actually have ones that just come in for 1 day or 1 hour or 1 minute. So it all depends on when they want to come in and push us gently back onto our life paths, okay? So I always say it like this, and it's in my book already. If we're struggling to connect with our spirit guides, it means that we're already on our life path. Because spirit guides guide us to stay on our life path. So if we're already doing what is going to be teaching us our life lessons, then they don't need to interfere with us. Do you understand that? So let's have a look at some of our life lessons. Compassion, generosity, appreciation and gratitude. How to be forgiving. So in my book that I'm writing now, I put in examples as well as exercises on how to accomplish those life lessons. Because as I say it jokingly, but who wants to come back to this lifetime to learn another lesson that we've already just had the opportunity to learn? So I hope and pray people learn their lesson so we don't have to come back and do this mess again. Who wants to live back in the 2000s again? Take your hand away. Seriously. I don't want to do that. One very busy lady. Yes, I am, Renee. Okay, but I always make time for my emails, okay? So I've still got about 10 minutes here, guys. If you do want me to answer a psychic question, anything of direction, anything about your life, your partner, anything that's going on in your life, please know if you do want a private conversation, you're able to email me. My email is in the comments and it's also in the description of this video. So there's my email, okay? Please email me if you do want some private chats with me, okay? I wake up in the morning and I've generally got about anywhere from 25 to 100 emails there every day. So sometimes they do take an hour or two to just go through them, but I do read every single one of them, okay? Absolutely, you make time. That was in reference to your books. You're gorgeous, darling. Well, I always look back at when I died. I was very fortunate that I met my great-great-great-great-grandmother who told me future things about my life. I died in 2001 and she told me the date in 2005 to conceive my daughter. Thank God I always remembered that date because now I've got my daughter. Her name's Natasha. Tashi. Crazy one. I call her crazy. I call her whoop. What the heck are you doing today? But she's adorable, my girl. She's going forward. They told me, when I was in heaven in 2001, she told me I'd work with the police for 10 years. I did. I was an administration officer for 10 years with the police. She got that right. She told me so much stuff that has since come right. She told me I'd be writing books. And it was only when I got my PhD that I thought I should be writing all this down and making a book out of this. So she actually told me I was going to get a PhD. So whoever she is, and even my great-great-great-great-grandmother, hey, Jenny, thank you for coming on. Do you think I will get the pay rise I want to ask for? It won't be the amount that you ask for, but I will tell you one thing, you're going to get the respect from your employer by doing it. So if you ask for an extra $1 an hour, they might come back and say, 20 cents, if that. But don't take it the wrong way because it's showing them that you respect them by asking. And it also will instill respect in you. So this is actually a very positive thing in self-confidence, self-appreciation, and self-respect that you're learning. So I am so grateful that you've asked me that. Absolutely, please go for it. You may not get the money that you want, but you're building so many other valuable energy frequencies, which is a currency. Oh, I love talking like this when money is a frequency, which is a currency. Energy is emotion, which is a currency. See how it's all related? So, of course, you're going to earn the respect from your employer by doing it. Just be kind and show them respect. Okay? All right, Kristen T. All right. So, Kristen T., what exactly did you do for the police? Kristen, I'm open with it. But I have signed a confidentiality agreement because things didn't end so good. I started off on the phones at police headquarters in Brisbane City. I worked in there for 2 years and then I went into forensics, which is crime scenes. So every day I was involved with sort of things. I'll give an example. You know those shows on TV, CSI? Okay, CSI on TV? That was sort of what I was involved with, right? Crime scene investigations. So I did that for 3 years. Then I ended up at a police beat and some other places as well. So I was there actually for 10 years, okay? I can't say exactly what I did during those times, but I'm able to say where I worked, what departments I worked in, okay? Because it's all free knowledge, okay? For any freedom of information request, we'll find out that information. I'm also on Courier Mail, which is still on Google. I actually say people go put my name into Google, scroll down. You'll see when I sued them because of the horrendous stuff that I had to deal with. That's still on Courier Mail. That was in the newspaper here in Brisbane. I actually got PTSD from it, and I still have PTSD. So why do you think I did a life coaching qualification? Why do you think now I speak about self-love, self-respect, self-appreciation, and how to build a better life within? on top of being a psychic, especially. But I give that hope to anyone who else that's out there who has been through addictions, because I've had a lot of addictions in my life as well. How do we get through those addictions where we still love ourselves, have that self-worth, and respect ourselves? How do we get out of bed every morning and say, I'm a better person today than I was yesterday? And even though we may never accomplish to be 100% perfect, because a lot of people will never accomplish that, but the very fact that we try our damnedest every day in the diversity and the animosity and the atrocities of other people in governments. Look at the last 2 years as a classic example. How do we end up being a positive, loving, and nurturing, supportive person unless we do go through hardships? So I openly say that the worst our life is, my ex-husband killed me, and I'm open with that. I was over 14 minutes clinically dead, and I've still got the scars to prove that I was in intensive care in hospital. Look at these with all the needle marks here on my wrist and here where I've had so many cannulas. And I've even got one here that's, well, let me just find it because people like seeing it. Where is he? There it is. Don't know if you can see it. It's just here. That's where they actually stuck in a heart monitor, which pulses the heart when you're on life support. So how do we go through all this and then wake up the next day and say, I do not blame the person who did that to me. I love that person who did that to me, and I can forgive him for doing that to me because ultimately he made me a better person. How many people have grudges, have issues, regrets? And you wonder why I had to have that event, so I can teach people how negative that is ultimately. Okay? So I'm very open about my experiences, okay? Because the more people understand, like, one, I've got a broken neck. I broke my neck when I was 20 in a car accident. 2017, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor up here. Look, I've had no surgery. My hair never got pulled out for surgery. And only about 6 weeks ago, I got diagnosed. I've got an inch lump here in my thyroid. But I will never allow negativity to rule my life. I won't let it control me and who I want to be as a positive, loving, caring, nurturing person. Because at the end of the day, the more we love ourselves and the more that we love others, the more that ripple effect comes out of us like a pheromone, because this is science, and it connects to everybody else on the planet. Look at the world right now. Everyone's so hateful, angry, bitter, grudge-filled. Everybody is deserving. They want to be the first in the queue. They push in line now. I've noticed it. Cars will speed so they can get 2 car spaces ahead of the next car. Ha, 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 I'm so important. I got 2 cars ahead of you. What is that within people? Because that negativity that is now growing all around the world is so negative, and you wonder why they, our angels, archangels, spirit guides, our guardian angels, even our deceased relatives, they're all worried about us because they know that all that negative energy that we're building now can never survive in heaven. So I try my damnedest now to educate, to show people how to be kind, loving, giving, supportive, considerate, how to be generous without money. Because ultimately, the more we heal all those grudges, regrets, pains, traumas, etc., that we've been through, and we learn to heal them and we forgive all those events in our lives, the more chance we have of going to this gorgeous place that so deserves us. Because I'll be honest, there is a hell, and it's not a place. It's not out there. Hell is something that we create through our own negativity. I've watched the show called Lucifer. It starred Tom Ellis. And in that show, there are some episodes in there where they talk about the hell loop. And they explain it quite well, where we hang on to grudges and regrets. And then we're in like this roller coaster, guinea pig wheel of reliving that event over and over and over and over and over. You know, there's an episode there where the female detective that's going out with Lucifer, her ex-husband, he didn't think that he was a good dad. So when he died, he's in this hell loop where he thinks he's not a good dad. So he's reliving every day, oh my God, I'm not a good dad, I'm not a good dad, I'm not a good dad. That's a grudge. That's an issue. That's a regret. But then when he gets the opportunity to realize that he actually was a good dad, guess where he went? Now you understand the purpose of my work. Now you understand I went there. We all have the capacity to go there when we pass. But don't be in a hurry to go there, guys, because we're on this roller coaster. And look at the last 2 years. We're going down, but now we're coming back up. And the more we're giving, kind, generous, loving, supportive, the more we say to people, you know what? I don't care what you do to me. I don't give a damn what you say to me. You can swear at me. You can yell at me. You can abuse me, all you like. But at the end of the day, I'm going to treat you with love. I'm going to say, I hope you have a great day. And we spread that out to them like an energy, which is an emotion. They feel that. And then we get this ripple effect where they pass it on to somebody else. And then they pass it on to 2. And those 2 might pass it on to 5 people each. And before we know it, we've got 10,000 people all having a good day. So wherever you are on the world, I hope that you're all having a good day, good evening, or even a good weekend. Because that's ultimately my goal for every single one of you. And I hope that you just hang around, because go through my video lists, because I educate, I explain, and I show you how we can all become ascended masters, because that is one of the levels of heaven that we can acquire to be. You know, you look at Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, those types of ascended masters. They never got offended. They never got aggressive. They don't get hurt feelings. They don't hold on to grudges and issues. So why do we? Ultimately, why do we treat people bad? You know? Renee, I do this all the time, who show negative energy towards me. And we've got to remember, energy is emotion. So when someone's angry, and I always say anger is not an emotion that we just feel for ourselves. Anger is always a consequence of another emotion, a situation that didn't go our way, so we get angry. That's what brings on anger. Like you get stuck in traffic, so you're going to be late for work. That's what brings us to being angry. So don't trigger your emotions. Don't react to what goes on in your life. Think about it and respond and say, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm going to take this time. I might file my nails while I'm waiting, so I'm productive. I might check out I might just look in that car next door to me and see what that guy's like, and I might wave at him and spread the love. What's it going to hurt? And if you say, oh, I can't wave at someone, that's so embarrassing. That's not on him, that's on you. to look at within yourself and say, why can't you be nice to other people? Because we've all got this capacity, yeah? So, send them love and light, Renee. How true are you tonight, darling? Well, I'm going to get off here because it's been over an hour. No one else is asking me for readings. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be here again at 9 o'clock in the morning. Sunday morning, Brisbane time at 9 o'clock. I'm going to pick out some more lovely cards. I'm just going to leave these ones here so I can do it all again in about, I'll be here in 14 hours from now. Okay? So wherever you are, Bruno Hall. Hell, a psychic told me 30 years ago I was supposed to sit in here in a chair and read a fortune, but it never happened. I just wonder if that still can happen. Hang on, a psychic told me 30 years ago I was supposed to sit in, I think that's their chair, and read their future, but it never happened. I just wonder. Okay, Bruno, don't know if you know it, but I'm actually giving away free copies of my book tonight. It's called Psychics Explained. So if you do want a copy, I'm going to comment my email again. Okay, it's only for people who are live. So if you're watching this later, don't bother emailing me because I'm only doing it now. Bruno, I'm just making sure my email is right. Yep, there's my email. So if you email me, please, Bruno, I'm happy to give you a free copy of my book, Psychics Explain. It's got all our psychic abilities, how to get them, how to get rid of them if we don't want them anymore. It's all the science that explains how we believe it to become true. Okay? So it's a good book. It's about 127 pages, I think. It's on Lulu. Okay, so guys, just in closing, if you have learnt anything tonight, I'm going to share my links again. First one is PayPal. If you want to buy me a coffee or help my cause, I need to buy a new phone really urgently. I'll just show you my phone. Look at my case. I'm not even going to open it up, but look at the case. Okay. That's the best part about my phone, by the way, because it's got a smashed screen. Anyway, but it still works. Okay, if you do want a copy of any of my books, there's the link. This one's on there. You can buy it in a hard copy as well as the PDF. I've got Ghosts Explained on there. I've now got Ghosts Explained. I've got Psychics Explained. And now I'm working on Spirit Guides and Life Paths Explained. So in a few weeks when that one's out, I'm going to be sending out free copies of that one too. So please subscribe to my channel so you're up to date when new lives are coming out, because I always love giving away freebies. And on that note, guys, I hope that you all have a gorgeous night wherever you are on the planet. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned because good things are coming. Okay, the cards actually said the words for tonight was be patient. We can just wait because we're on that. We've been down on the roller coaster and now the world is looking after us again. Oh, thank you so much, universe, for that one. So stay tuned for next time, guys, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I love you all. Thank you, and I'll talk soon. Bye.